Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington for that welterweight world title. And Chael, you talked about this less than 24 hours ago at the UFC 296 press conference. I mean, it was weird, let's be honest. There were costumes, there were a lot of things being said between a lot of people, a lot of hostility, but things took a very serious turn when Colby Covington evoked the memory of Leon Edwards' late father.
No, I'm bringing you to 7th layer hell. We'll say what's up to your dad while we're there. Oh!
Well, we saw Leon Edwards react to the words that Colby Covington said about his late father, who was murdered when he was 13 years old in England. And, you know, no one can really blame him for having a reaction to that. But Dominic, as you watched this unfold, and you kind of think about it in the aftermath, how much does that affect Leon Edwards' mindset as he goes into this world title defense?
We'll never know, but one thing I'll tell you is all is fair in love and war. And when you're fighting for millions of dollars, people are going to use whatever they need to get in your head and to win these fights. And so it doesn't surprise me that Colby Covington would go that direction to try to get in the head. When you're about to live or die, you got to use whatever means necessary sometimes, whether it's wrong or right to some people. Colby Covington made the rule and said, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And whatever demons we don't face before we step into that octagon, those are things that our opponents can throw at us to break our brains. So it's very important that we face all these things before we face each other so they don't have the power to take our own power from us.
And the approach to the fight is so important. Like many people will tell you that Colby succeeded at his mission, which is to make Leon emotional. Maybe do a little bit of what Conor McGregor was successful with doing to Jose Aldo, just by example. But maybe not. I mean, when Dominic says we'll never know, maybe not. Maybe Leon does his best work when he's angry. Maybe he's a little bit quicker when he's angry. Maybe he can push a little bit further. I mean, we don't know. It's one of those things in life. Be very careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
No, that's very well said by both of you. I appreciate the insight on that. I want to talk about the actual matchup because there's just so much to break down when you put this on paper. I mean, Leon Edwards has been perfect in his last 12 fights, 11-0 really with one no contest there. Let's take a look at how they stack up on paper. But when you look at statistically, I mean, over 4 takedowns per 15 minutes for Colby Covington. We know that he's certainly going to try to push the pace there. Chael, when you see these statistics and you think about this world title fight at 170 pounds, for you, what are some of those biggest keys? What are those big standout statistics for you?
I love when you talked about Colby a second ago, Megan. You said that he's certainly going to try to push the pace. Look, that is an intangible. That is something that Dominic did very well to win world championships. Dominic could just throw more balls at the hoop than the opponent could. When I bring that up, I did think there was some opportunity for Colby in regards to Leon's conditioning. Look, the night that Leon became world champion and the head kick heard around the world, he was fatigued. He was trying, and his goals had changed to just run out the clock. He was accepting defeat. And I only bring that to you because I really thought that was something that Colby could exploit. But when I saw part 3, and I'm talking about Edwards versus Usman, which took place in March of this year, it was a whole other Rocky. It was a whole other Leon out there. He was ready for 25 minutes, and I'm not completely convinced that Colby does have the edge in conditioning, and I think that that's the intangible. That's the one that is the big question for me. If Colby can outpush him, Colby can take his belt away. But if he can't, if I'm wrong about that, it's going to be a long night for Covington.
Well, when I look at those stats, I look at the takedowns of Colby Covington and the striking accuracy of Leon Edwards. And I would say that the striking accuracy of Leon Edwards can really take away all those shots that Colby Covington might want to take by beating him up and hurting him. Can that striking accuracy take all the wind out of the sails of Colby Covington so he has no air in his lungs to get the takedowns and to push the pace and to take it to dark waters? A very accurate striker can take the air out of you and beat you up so bad that option is not on the table.
Before we move on, I just want to quickly follow up. You know, I spoke with Colby this week. He did a couple of weeks in Breckenridge at the end of his training camp. And I asked him, well, you're already known for having this great pace and stamina and cardio. Why now go to Colorado at altitude and try and train even more? He said, listen, I've been out for a long time. People are talking about, am I going to be able to keep this pace up for 25 minutes? I want to be sure without a shadow of a doubt that I can do that. So he even, you know, went that extra step by going to Colorado and training there. And remember, Leon Edwards, when he fought that first time against Kamaru, that was at Salt Lake City, so very high altitude there as well.